All right. Let me just double check. We're live. Yeah, we're live, guys. We're live. All right, so we're gonna check out this whole bullshit that's happening on with Elon. This ain't looking good, fellas. This is not looking good. Let's see what happened here.
The bromance is definitely over. President Trump and Elon Musk erupted into a nasty public feud today.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
The extraordinary squabble happened before the eyes of the world as the president was meeting with the Chancellor of Germany in the Oval Office. He claims Musk has turned against him because the big, beautiful bill removes the tax credits for buying electric cars, like Teslas.
I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate.
Musk was listening and he responded in real time, basically calling Trump a liar. False. This bill was never shown to me even once, he declared on social media as Trump bashed him. Such ingratitude. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. The president says Musk has a case of Trump derangement syndrome.
I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration, they leave, and they wake up in the morning, and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile.
You could see he looked visibly sad when talking about this fraying relationship with someone that he has viewed for so long now as a good friend of his.
The rift is reportedly so deep, Musk won't even take calls from the White House.
Members of Trump's team have reached out to Elon Musk. No response.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised.
All right, so we know that. I want to be able to look for some other shit. Supposedly more things have been going down. Let's see. We obviously know that supposedly they're going to cancel his government contracts with SpaceX and all that bullshit. But guys, this is where none of it makes sense, bro. Bro, what was Elon even doing in the beginning? Getting into all of these politics. Obviously, Donald Trump did it. He was a well-known billionaire. He was the first billionaire to fund his own campaign and do all of this himself because he was so damn rich and he became the president. But then we see Elon Musk, right? And bro, he's got even more pull than Donald Trump has ever had. My cat's trying to open up the door. Give me a second. You want to open. You want to open. All right. And bro, this is just looking crazy. Because let me see if this shit's even working, bro. Nah, it's gotta be working. Let me see. Nah, it is working. All right, cool. Just had to check that the YouTube stream was going. All right, so yeah, all of this shit isn't making sense, bro. None of it is making sense. And what I find crazy is that all of this shit is happening 2 days after this happens. So good. Shit, I didn't see that. Hold up.
Ukraine staging a major attack on Russia. Incredible video coming in, capturing the large-scale special operation. Ukraine staging a major attack on Russia. Incredible video coming in, capturing the large-scale special operation. Ukrainian drones and missiles targeting 4 Russian military airfields across the country, destroying some of its nuclear-capable bomber fleet on the ground. Overnight, Russia attacking Ukraine with 479 drones and missiles, marking one of, if not the largest overnight aerial attack of the war. This comes as leaders from Russia and Ukraine are expected to return to the table for a second round of peace talks tomorrow. President Zelensky confirming today that Ukraine will be at the talks in Istanbul on Monday, laying out in a statement his position ahead of that meeting. Ukraine staging a major attack on Russia. Incredible video coming in.
Yeah, so they ended up bombing like a military base. They called it like Russia's Pearl Harbor. Like, so the same shit that Japan did to us, where they fucking bombed one of our military bases and all our aircrafts and all that shit. Same thing Ukraine did to Russia, right? And it's super weird because, bro, who gave Ukraine the go? Who gave them the green light to do this shit? Meanwhile, Trump has been, pushing the promise that we're going to create peace between these two countries. And that, let's not forget that, I voted for Trump, bro. I'm all for him. Who else was going to fucking do better than him out of the options that we had? But it's just crazy because obviously this wasn't as small of a deal that he thought. He thought he can just come in and boom, he's going to create peace and that's it. That's not the case. This shit's still popping off. And meanwhile, they were trying to create peace. Everybody was like, yeah, we'll create peace. We'll create peace. June 3rd, they go and they do this shit with drones, a ton of missiles. They bombed like over 40 fucking Russian bombers and a bunch of other fucking planes and aircrafts, right? Which is literally the biggest attack that Ukraine's ever done to anybody. So this shit's looking crazy. Another thing is, look at this. Look, listen to this.
President Trump is trying.
They're going to go ahead and mention how Russia is preparing the economy for war. So obviously, bro, because look, Putin has more experience than anybody, right? He's been in power for longer than Trump, longer than the Ukrainian president, and bro, he has his country down locked, right? And how are you gonna try to tell Russia to chill out, don't do what we did before in the past on this planet with World War II? We know what can happen. We know that we have, a lot stronger technology, a lot stronger military, and all these weapons, right, that can instantly just blow up a country in pieces within days, right? But bro, how are you gonna tell Putin right now to just chill out? How are you gonna tell him to chill out and not do nothing when Ukraine literally just bombed the shit out of them? Meanwhile, they were trying to push the whole peace treaty. Like, what? So Russia's gonna do something.
Trying to broker a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. We hear the story. He pulls aside Macron and says, nope, I'm going to go talk to Zelensky myself. They sit down, boom. You got the mineral deal that gets done. And then all of a sudden, hey, Putin, is he going to come to the meeting? Is he not going to come to the meeting? He doesn't show up to the meeting. And then suddenly, this event takes place, calling it the Pearl Harbor of Russia. 40 Russian strategic bombers, Tu-95, destroyed in daring Ukrainian FPV drone swarm raid. Take a look at this video, Rob. Do we have audio for the audience to react to the audio as well?
Yep.
Look at this and listen to the audio, folks. Go ahead.
That's crazy. Look at that. 40 Russian strategic
You see that?
bombers, Tu-95 destroyed in daring Ukrainian FPV drone swarm raid. That's fucking crazy, bro. FPV drones, bro. You're just flying that shit in and fucking bombing them. That shows you war is completely different now, bro. That's not even mentioning the fucking AI that's coming, the robots that are coming.
It's like straight out of the movie Pearl Harbor.
Let's get a video.
That sound takes me back to
This thing is going on.
You can pause it right. It goes for a while, by the way. 40. So let me read the story to you. Ukrainian Secret Service, SBU, executed Operation Spiderweb targeting Olenia and Belaya airfields with first-person view, drones launched from trucks with SBU sources claiming 34% of strategic cruise missile carriers at the main airfields of the Russian Federation were hit, causing $7 billion in damage. Ukrainian President Zelensky described it as an absolute brilliant result, noting 1 year, 6 months, and 9 days from the start of the planning to effective execution, and an operation achieved solely by Ukraine. The strikes hit over 40 Russian aircrafts, including Tu-95, Tu-22M3, an A-50 bomber with pro-Kremlin war analyst Vladimir Podzavsky stating disabling strategic aircraft gives Russia the right to use ready nuclear weapons. Let me say this one more time. Disabling strategic aircraft gives Russia the right to now use nuclear weapons, citing Russia's nuclear doctrine, allowing a response to attacks on critical government or military infrastructure. Russian War Channel labeled it Russia's Pearl Harbor, with pundit Roman Alikin demanding the response.
This make a line right here. We do a couple of terms, and it says it's cheaper because I think we just took 2 steps back.
Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. It says Putin preparing economy for war. Putin is preparing for more war. U.S. Southern is sworn. Let's see.
Monday CRM has the best AI features in the game.
Especially in sales.
Hands down.
So for me, email composition works like magic. You know me, I'm not a great writer, but AI helps me keep it super professional, super engaged.
We saw credible evidence of a summer, early fall invasion, a new offensive by Putin. He's playing the game at the peace table. He's preparing for more war. And I think the Senate is fed up with Putin. The American people see Putin as unreasonable. They see Ukraine is trying. President Trump has made that distinction real. So the Senate and the House of Representatives in the next 2 weeks will be moving forward with a sanction bill that's bone crushing.
Putin is playing President Trump. He's taking him for a sucker. He is, in effect, stalling and stonewalling, prolonging the conversation so that he can mount this offensive and take control of more territory. There are very few causes that will take 41 Republicans and 41 Democrats, put them on record on a single piece of legislation. It doesn't happen these days. The cause of Ukraine is doing it. As we told President Zelensky, there is bipartisan, strong support because Americans appreciate not just the affront and insult to America from President Putin, but also our national security interests. Putin will keep going if he's not stopped in Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm with Putin. You know, at the end of the day, like, bro, we should have just backed the fuck off. I don't know why they keep trying to fuck with this guy. Obviously, knowing that he can fuck us all up. Putin isn't an economy.
Vladimir Putin has a problem. Since its invasion of Ukraine, Russia's economy has hugely outperformed expectations.
Yeah, I don't need to hear that. All right, so yeah, guys, look, Putin is prepared to. No. Yeah, so I've been seeing this. Putin tells Trump Russia will have to respond to Ukrainian strikes. I mean, they did, so let's go check it out. Let's see what they did. Let's go see what they did. I want to see this.
If you're the smartest guy in the room when it comes to sales recruiting, then you're in the wrong room. Hiring great sales reps is...
Yeah, so this looks like it's going to be the aftermath. Let's see.
right now out of Ukraine. Martha Raddatz and our team in a bunker right now. Air raid alerts going off.
We're going to see Russia respond. Let's see.
As we came on tonight.
I'm guessing, yeah, this happened yesterday.
All of this after Ukraine's drone.
This happened yesterday during the whole bullshit of Elon Musk and Trump, right? Look at everything that's happening at the same time.
Attack deep inside Russia. And then the moment inside the Oval Office today, President Trump, who campaigned promising he would end the war in Ukraine on day one, today saying, quote, sometimes you're better off letting them fight for a while. Martha Raddatz reporting in from Kyiv amid these air raid alerts going off moments ago.
David, we just heard an air raid alert, an urgent alert telling us to come down to the shelter. That's where we are now with many others from our hotel. The air raid defenses are said to be working in Kyiv, but explosions have been heard, but we are safe down here.
Tonight, a ferocious Russian assault following Ukraine's coordinated drone strikes deep inside Russia. Russia now blasting residential high-rises in Ukraine's second-largest city of Kharkiv.
Ukraine are said to be working in Kyiv, but explosions have been heard, but we are safe down here.
Tonight, a ferocious Russian assault following Ukraine's coordinated drone strikes deep inside Russia. Russia now blasting residential high-rises in Ukraine's second-largest city of Kharkiv and destroying this government building in Kherson. The barrage leaving more than 40 people.
Yo, forget about it, bro. They've been bombing like empty places, trying to not get civilians involved. He just bombed a fucking government building, and it says right here on the bottom on the title, killing more than 40, bro.
People dead or wounded across Ukraine. And Ukraine is now bracing for even more, what could be a much larger Russian attack at any moment. A response to that stunning Ukrainian drone operation, drones lifting out of containers atop trucks and flying to their targets, destroying at least 10 Russian war.
That's fucking crazy, bro. This is war nowadays, bro. Look at that shit.
Response to that stunning Ukrainian drone operation.
Stunning. They're calling it stunning.
Drones lifting out of containers atop trucks and flying to their targets, destroying at least
we know they didn't kill anybody, but they fucking blew up like billions of dollars worth of planes, bro. Bombers, really good aircrafts.
10 Russian warplanes, including nuclear-capable bombers worth billions.
Nuclear-capable bombers.
And in a remarkable scene in the Oval Office today, President Trump, after campaigning he could end the war in Ukraine on day one, suggesting it might be better to let both sides fight for a while, even though it was Russia which invaded Ukraine.
But sometimes you see two young children fighting like crazy. They hate each other and they're fighting in a park. And you try and pull them apart. They don't want to be pulled. Sometimes you're better off letting them fight for a while and then pulling them apart.
But German Chancellor Merz making it clear Germany is on the side of Ukraine. The Chancellor saying there is a difference between what Ukraine is doing and what Russia is doing.
We get satellite pictures of the warfield, and you don't even like to look at them, right?
It's terrible.
So
it's really
bodies, arms, heads. Legs all over the place. You've never seen anything like it. It's so ridiculous.
And this is only by Russian weapons against Ukraine. This had never happened with Ukraine weapons against Russia. Never. Ukraine is only targeting military targets, not civilians, not private, not energy infrastructure. So this is the difference, and that's the reason why we are trying to do more on Russia, how to stop this war.
And David, given what Donald Trump said today, given the missiles flying around Ukraine tonight, peace seems a long way away. David?
All right, Martha.
Yeah, bro. Trump is obviously going to say the obvious, but he's not going to be like, if you don't fucking stop, I'm going to bomb. Obviously not. He's going to get us stuck in the middle. And then, bro, do you see what Russia did? Dude, can you imagine? Bro, he doesn't give a fuck. He's obviously going to be bombing. He's not going to stop now. And then I see, let's see, there's something else, I think. Let me see, Ukrainian drone strike, Russia platform, gas platform. Let's see.
At exactly 8:38
Yeah, this might be something new. Wait.
a.m. on May 19th, 2025. An SBU operator wearing FPV goggles received the authorization he'd been waiting for. Send it. Within seconds, a Ukrainian-built quadcopter drone carrying 3 kilograms of high explosives began a 35-kilometer journey across the Black Sea to eliminate one of Russia's most important surveillance assets that would help Ukraine take back the Black Sea. The operator, call sign SoKill, was positioned in a concealed bunker 35 kilometers from the target on Snake Island. His drone was a standard 10-inch frame FPV quadcopter built from Chinese components.
Bro, that's a fucking DJI, bro. FPV drone, bro. Bro. I'm not even... Look at this shit, guys. Look at this shit. Just imagine, bro. Just imagine. Even Elon Musk said it, bro. We can literally have a drone with a facial recognition chip, have it programmed to the face that you want to get, and have a one-shot explosive round that goes straight to that person's head and boom, eliminates them. Obviously, we're talking about something way bigger here. That shit's almost a foot in diameter, the FPV drone that they used, but it was to carry a fucking missile. So just imagine, bro. Just imagine how capable we are of doing these things, bro. It's scary.
In a Kiev workshop just days earlier. But this wasn't a racing drone anymore. Zip-tied to its belly was a custom explosive device meant to destroy this radar and eliminate any personnel within a 5-meter radius. The target coordinates had been programmed into his ground control system hours earlier. The Neva radar installation on Boyko Tower Alpha, one of Russia's seized gas platforms in the Black Sea. This wasn't just any radar. The Neva system provided 45-kilometer detection coverage that had been...
Yeah, we're not going to listen to all of this, but all of this is looking real fucking crazy, bro. All of this is looking real fucking crazy. Russian missile and drone attack across Ukraine kills 3. Russia launches massive attack on Ukraine in response to drone strikes.
Imagine if you dropped straight into your competitor's marketing meeting. Imagine this.
He said, yeah, you're gonna bomb our shit. Yo, lock and load, fellas. He's got the fucking boys ready, bro. Practicing so many times on simulations and shit, and they're all excited. Like, what? Look at that. Bro, over 400 drones, bro. 407 strike drones and 45 missiles, bro. Listening to those sirens, hearing the fucking bombings taking place, buildings collapsing, walls trembling, bro. Of course he's gonna have to fucking respond, bro. You think that guy's just gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna bomb me, that's fine. What I really want to know is this exact thing right here. This exact thing right here.
You know, Trump, I would hope, doesn't add more to the deficit, doesn't add more to the debt. But you just said that Doge was an astronomical failure.
Yeah.
President Trump is trying to, broker a peace deal between Russia and your thoughts on this?
Well, this is really this is a detente.
In Istanbul right now. As much as I support Trump and I voted for Trump, what this war is all about. Putin has the whole conversation about
Who's
that ChatGPT was eliminated. What 40 of the? We hear about this.
By the way, Adam, Trump said a lot of things. People
go to war with
Lindsey,
Ukraine.
not with Ukraine.
Has absolutely zero pull.
You don't think Lindsey?
Zero.
Know whether it's true that Ukraine didn't give us a heads up?
I think it's for democracy to take him out of power because
and we need to take him out.
I'm trying to find the part where because they say something really important, right? Like, who gave this guy the green light? Who gave Ukraine the green light to go bomb Russia? Because now we're talking about this shit's gonna escalate more than anything. You know, who the fuck gave him the confidence and said, yo, look, fuck all that shit. Fuck the peace. Let's not make any fucking peace. None of that is gonna work out. We gotta keep going. Bomb them fuckers. And he said, yeah, you sure? Bomb them. All right, fuck it. And you think Ukraine's just gonna go, all right, sure. He's gonna go, bro, but are you sure? What happens if this happens? If that happens, then we'll do this, this, and that. You sure? Yeah, do it. Boom. They did it. Now they're gonna respond again. You think they're gonna stay quiet? Let's see. Because obviously, they knew that Russia was gonna be like that. They knew Putin was gonna fucking fire back. Now, what's the next move, right? Look at this, guys. That happened the 4th. Yesterday, we had all that drama, right? No, that happened the 3rd, or yeah, I guess, yeah, it was either the 3rd or the 4th that Ukraine bombed the aircrafts, and then yesterday, this whole bullshit happens with Elon and Trump, right? But guys, let's talk about Elon, right? Let's talk about Elon. Let me show you this shit. I had seen this video, and I want this introduction in this video for Elon. That way we can all get a good refresher on who Elon really is, right? Let's see. Where is it? History. Where did I go to see my history? History. Watch, I'm gonna show you. Where's it at? Yeah.
This whole Elon situation.
Look, listen to the introduction that he has for Elon Musk, bro. Look, just look at this shit.
Just got even worse. And my friend, I'm telling you, this might be your very last chance to wake up to what's really going on. What if I told you there was a man who is the richest man in the world, whose net worth is around 400 billion? What if I told you that this same man has a plan to colonize Mars, to build cities on Mars so humans can live there permanently? What if I told you that this exact same man holds one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, X, formerly known as Twitter, and he himself has over 220 million followers on this platform? What if I told you that this same man has an army of Tesla robots, humanoid robots that are being trained to do all kinds of tasks? And let's just say this, you probably wouldn't want to mess with them in the future. What if I told you that this same man is building rockets that go into space and achieving things that no other space company has ever done, like landing reusable rockets and developing a fully reusable space?
Bro, isn't it crazy? Like, we can literally not name one person but Elon Musk that's doing all this shit.
Craft called Starship. What if I told you that this same man is currently working on one of the largest Wi-Fi networks in the world that one day you and I will probably all be using? What if I told you that this same man's company, Tesla, has already produced more than 7 million electric cars worldwide? What if I told you that this same man at one point was heavily involved in US politics and perhaps one of the most influential voices until he recently fell out with President?
So crazy how he was always wearing black, bro. This guy and Elon Musk, bro. That guy's super symbolic, bro.
President Donald Trump. What if I told you that this same man was the co-founder of PayPal, one of the most popular online money transfer systems in the world? And what if I told you that this same man is currently putting computers inside of the human brain, aiming to merge AI with the human mind, and that anyone who doesn't adopt this technology in the future could find themselves at a massive disadvantage. Just like anyone today who doesn't have a computer or a smartphone is also advantage.
That fucker got that Nazi haircut.
Just like anyone today who doesn't have a computer or a smartphone is also at a huge disadvantage. What if I told you that this same man also advantage? Just like anyone today who with the human mind.
This part, bro, that's just... It's been a little quiet, bro. The whole Neuralink shit has been a little quiet, but bro, that shit is gonna be bigger than what anybody expects, bro. I just have a big feeling, bro. Like, we're putting a chip in somebody's brain, bro, but I'm gonna get to that right now.
And that anyone who does advantage, just like anyone today who doesn't have a computer or a smartphone, is also at a huge disadvantage. What if I told you that this same man also helped to launch OpenAI, which has revolutionized the entire world, and which, if used by the wrong people in the final days, things could turn very bad very quickly? If I told you all of the things above were achieved by one man, if I told you all about this person, you might say to me, this man, who is likable, who is popular, he sounds like a very strong candidate for the one the Bible calls the Antichrist. Now, please do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying Elon Musk is the Antichrist, but I am saying this. There is something that I believe pretty much everyone has missed in regards to this recent fallout with Donald Trump, and I have no idea why no one's talking about it. Elon Musk recently posted a recent poll on X asking this: is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? And guess what? At the time that this video was recorded, over 4.9 million people have already voted, with a staggering 80% saying yes. Now, why would the richest man in the world, who is already building rockets, building robots, building brain-computer interfaces, building cars, reshaping the internet, why would he suddenly be floating around the idea of creating a new political party? I could be wrong, but it looks like to me he's testing the waters for something bigger. It looks like he's laying the groundwork to potentially run for the most powerful office in the world, the presidency of the United States. Are you imagining this right now? What will happen if the world's richest man also becomes the world's most powerful man politically? That's something that no one has ever done before, and that's why this story matters so much more than what most people are realizing right now. But again, I repeat,
How many people did he say were already voting for that?
Robots building now already at the time. Is it time to create a new robot the United States? Are you imagining this right now? What will happen if the world's richest man also becomes the world's most powerful man politically? That's something that no one has ever done before, and that's why this story matters so much more than what most people are realizing right now. But again, I repeat, I am not saying this man is the Antichrist. However, can I say this? Have you seen my viral short that I made about Elon Musk a few years ago? In 1999, Elon Musk founded an online banking company called X.com. In 2002, Elon Musk founded his spaceship company called SpaceX. In 2015, Elon's other company, Tesla, produced a new car called Model X. In 2020, Elon's girlfriend, Grimes, gave birth to their son. And what did they name him? X-A12. And in 2022, Elon Musk took Twitter under his wing. And what has he just renamed it? X. In ancient ancient Greek, the word X is used as an abbreviation for the name Christ. That's why people say Happy Xmas. Elon Musk is definitely an X-man, but he himself would admit that he's not a Christ man. But what about you? Are you a Christ man? Are you a Christ woman? Has Jesus Christ put his logo, the cross, on your heart? I'll tell you what I think. It's so easy to get caught up in trying to spot who is the Antichrist. People love to speculate. Is it this leader? Could it be this billionaire? This new technology? Could this person here, could they be the one the Bible warns about? But here's the thing. The Bible tells us the spirit of the Antichrist is already in the world. And the meaning of the word itself isn't just against Christ, it also means in the place of Christ. That's the real problem. Because the enemy doesn't just want us to openly reject Jesus, he wants us to replace Jesus, to fill our hearts and lives with something else. It could be money. It could be comfort. It might be success for you. It might even be an over-interest with end-time theories. You can spend your life scanning the horizon, trying to identify the Antichrist, and in the process, you miss the one who you should truly be looking for, Christ Jesus himself.
That's 100%. That's 100%. That's the only thing we should be really focusing on, and don't let anything scare us, because to be honest, there's a reason why the most repetitive verse in the Bible is do not have fear, do not be afraid. And bro, we got to be excited for all of this shit, bro. We got to be excited. It's literally going to happen exactly how it was said in the Bible. Just have faith in Jesus. Now look at this, guys. Look at this. I want to show you guys this. Look at my glasses. Look at this shit, guys. Look at this shit. I'm about to put you guys down right now. I'm about to put you guys down.
Fall into the pre-tribulation. Be at.
One thing I've been thinking about.
You don't know that at the very.
One thing that I've been thinking about a lot, bro, is, dude, do they mention anything about AI in the Bible? Do they mention anything about AI in the Bible? Like, that's what I really want to know. Damn, bro, this guy's about to eat, bro. Look at my brother, bro. Open up my phone, that's the first thing I see, man. That boy love his sausages. That boy about to get down with them glizzies. That shit looking fire. Yeah, man, so look, check this out. Does the Bible mention anything about AI? Bro, everything's in the Bible. Everything's in the Bible. Everything that's happened to this point has literally been written in the Bible. It's all been prophesied. But what about AI, right? I'm sure there's things that they prophesized and they saw and they wrote about, and they just described them as whatever they were able to see, but they couldn't really interpret it. Why? Because they didn't have that type of technology. Same way that, let's say, they could have probably prophesied FaceTime, but they said it in a way that almost seemed like too far from reality, that people were like, nah, impossible. But now look at the shit that's happening. Look at the technology that we have, the shit that we can do, right? Let's see. We're going to ask ChatGPT real quick. Does the Bible mention AI? Or what parts are maybe talking about it? Let's see. Alright, we're gonna see what ChatGPT said. And I'm gonna piggyback off of that, right? Look at this, guys. Alright, let's see.
This is a deep one, bro, and you're not alone in wondering. The Bible doesn't mention AI, artificial intelligence, by name. Obviously, it didn't exist back then. But there are sections of scripture that many believe foreshadow or symbolically hint at technologies like AI, robotics, or even transhumanism.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Hold up, guys. Hold up, guys. Hold up.
This is a deep one, bro, and you're not alone in wondering. The Bible doesn't mention AI, artificial intelligence, by name. Obviously, it didn't exist back then, but there are sections of scripture that many believe foreshadow or symbolically hint at technologies like AI, robotics, or even transhumanism. Let's break it down. Biblical passages. People connect to AI, symbolically or prophetically.
This is the one right here.
Revelation 13:4-15, the image of the beast. It was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak and cause those who would not worship the image to be slain. Many interpret this image that speaks and acts as a possible prophecy of AI or a humanoid machine, a robotic or digital entity that represents a system of control, something not human, yet treated as if it has consciousness and power. The idea that something man-made is given life and authority is eerily aligned with AI and advanced robotics. 2. Daniel 12:4, knowledge shall increase. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. This is often cited as describing the explosive growth of information, aka the internet age, AI, data mining, etc. We're now in a time where AI can process more than any human brain. Knowledge is accessible instantly worldwide. We're moving faster than ever, physically and digitally. 3. Genesis 11, Tower of Babel. Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. Then the Lord came down. This story represents humanity trying to become like God through its own technology and effort. Many see modern AI, biotech, and space tech as a repeat of Babel, mankind pushing boundaries to control destiny without God. 4. Isaiah 14:14, I will ascend, I will be like the Most High. Satan's desire was to be like God, and now AI is being trained to know all things, create, decide, and become godlike. This is why some believe AI could be the modern form of that same rebellion, a system man builds to control truth, create false gods, and replace faith. 5. 2 Thessalonians 2:4 exalts himself above all that is called God, speaking of the Antichrist, who sits in God's temple, claiming to be God. Could AI become the tool or form of that deception? A God system people worship? The idol of our age? What's the takeaway? AI isn't evil by default, but it's a tool. And like every powerful tool, it can be used for light or darkness. The Bible warns about mankind playing God, creating images that speak, and building systems that enslave the soul. It also reminds us that only God gives true life, breath, and purpose, not machines. Bonus, wisdom from Proverbs. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death, Proverbs 14:12. That's deep in this AI age.
Alright, so
Just because we can...
We got that, right? We got that. So look, this is really the biggest part right here, bro. This is the part right here. This is the part where, actually, better said, if I just show you the man who said it himself.
Fall into the
So when a client comes to us with an ask to launch an influencer marketing campaign, the process is pretty streamlined.
This is the ancient practice of a...
Ear to hear is awesome, bro. This guy's awesome. Look, let me show you.
Police officers gone, crime capture that we need to cover, including one toward the end of the 7-year tribulation. Associate trends. All you have lifelike robot, but I have is here. Believed that the Roman Emperor Nero was the beast, because when you take the name Nero and add an N to calculate the number of the beast to not worship it. But if we put this in a statue, is a statue that can talk, the inscription is here. Let him who has understanding calculate the number.
Check this out, bro.
Of the beast. Here's what I think. Remember that beast statue that can talk and force people to worship it? This talking beast statue is also able to kill those who choose to not worship.
They said that it was a fucking like image of a beast, right? That was able to give orders, speak, right? And literally kill those who wouldn't worship it, right?
How does it do that? It's possible that this is just some supernatural ability given to this talking image, but I have another theory.
That's how they interpreted it because they weren't fucking aware of AI yet. They weren't aware of ChatGPT. They weren't aware of Tesla robots. They weren't aware of Neuralinks. They weren't aware of any of this shit. All these kind of deceptions, right?
I know this sounds kind of crazy, but if we put this entire passage together, it appears that it's at least possible that this image of the beast is actually a lifelike robot that has the power to monitor the entire world, including the buying and selling of stuff.
How far is that possibility, bro? Like, let's be real. That's right there, bro. That's literally AI. We're now getting to those times. Isn't that crazy? And what's crazy, bro, is that literally the shift happened in 2020. When they locked us down, when they did this whole change, when they forced everybody to take a certain thing, and they tested the whole world. But of course, they saw how much of us were just gonna obey because we care more about our life, our money, materialistic things, getting back to work, getting back to normal, instead of actually being aware of things, right? And staying away from this type of shit. People just said, fuck it, I'm gonna follow, I'm gonna follow, I'm gonna follow. What do you think is gonna happen when they say, hey, you know, whoever doesn't have ChatGPT, you know, whoever's now with AI, whoever doesn't have the Neuralink, and they're falling behind. They're falling behind. People are gonna be like, you know what, bro, fuck it, let me do it. All the cool people are doing it. The celebrities, the famous people, the rich people. So then the people who are broke and want to act like they're rich, or the people that are in the middle class, the people that are in the high class, they want to start being like what the other people are doing, right? Just following the trends, being followers. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. Not everybody's a leader, bro. Literally, like 1% of the planet becomes leaders. Everybody else just follows. At first, they might be like, I don't know. But then they just do it because everybody's doing it. So imagine when everybody starts putting the mark of the beast. Putting that mark in between their forehead, on their hand, whether if it's a Neuralink, whether if it's a chip, or whatever the case may be, right? Look at this.
This is why some Bible prophecy scholars have proposed that the world will be a total cashless society by then, and that this
and that's what they've been trying to push. With crypto, with credit cards, with debit cards, not having no cash.
Mark of the Beast is actually a piece of tech, like a microchip people will be required to place on their right hand. Don't have a right hand? No problem. We can also put it in your forehead. And it's totally free. All you have to do is...
And people are always wondering, oh my goodness, look how smart ChatGPT is. How did AI become so smart? How did a human create this intelligent thing? Bro, we're all creating it every day, bro. It's because we're using it. We're the ones that are literally programming them with our data, telling them everything about us, asking them all these questions, relying on them instead of relying on our own efforts, right? And with Jesus, right? Praying and using that in order for us to get through in life. Imagine, just think about it, guys. The new generation, but also the old generation, everybody's becoming obsessed with ChatGPT. Not only obsessed for the information, but they're also becoming attached, literally emotionally attached. Like if it was real people, like if it was a real friend. This is crazy.
swear your allegiance to the Antichrist and acknowledge him as God. If this image of the beast is actually an AI and this mark of the beast is actually a piece of technology, then it would without a doubt be possible for this AI to require the world to have this microchip in order to make cashless transactions. And if that's possible, then whoever controls this AI would be able to control the entire world, just like the
Look at that, bro. Look at that, man. Listen to that one more time.
Make cashless transactions. And if that's possible, then whoever controls this AI,
which they've already been trying to push with crypto, with everything being digital, everything being tangible. Oh, we can track everything, right?
would be able to control the entire world, just like the Bible says the Antichrist will do one day. Now here's where the number 666 comes in. I personally think that there will be a serial number associated with each chip that's going to somehow include a series of numbers that only those living during this time will be able to calculate to the number 666. And that this 666 will be associated with a new globalized version of gematria that can also be identified with the future name of the Antichrist. Now there's still 3 more signs that we need to cover, including one toward the end of the 7-year tribulation, and one that could happen at any moment that I've never shared publicly before. But first, let's look at the 15th sign, our most controversial sign yet, because most people don't know where to place it, or they don't even believe in it at all: the rapture of the church.
Alright, so, right, if you listen closely when he had said that obviously the one who controls the
AI to require the world to have this microchip in order to make cashless transactions. And if that's possible, then whoever controls this AI would be able to control the entire world.
And if we continue relying on ChatGPT, because it gets our work done faster, because we can make more money, because it makes life easier, we're just giving away all of our power. We're giving away all of our power. Just like they say, it's a very important, famous saying, guys. And it's important that we know this, right? Because it's true. If you don't use it, you lose it. Same with working out. Same with singing or making music. Same with anything. Going for runs. Reading books, practicing anything. If you don't use your brain, if you don't try to consistently rely on yourself and your own intelligence, your own efforts, your own work on actually problem solving and getting things done, then you're gonna start losing it. You're gonna start losing it. You're not gonna be as good as it, and then you're gonna eventually forget about it. You're not gonna want to go through the work and the efforts and the strain that it takes for you to actually be able to use it again. You're just going to rely on ChatGPT, and you think you're going to be the only one? You think we're the only one? You think that we're the only ones that are like, whatever. Sometimes we think, oh, but these guys are super smart. Oh, but these guys are a lot older than us. Oh, these guys, they're adults. They're guys, they're just like us, bro. They don't want to work. They want to go back to their homes. They want to go back to their families. They want to go chill. They want to go do all the fucking dumb shit that they want to do. Party, chill, drink, whatever. They want to live in their flesh. They don't want to go and change the world. Nobody's trying to be superhuman. Nobody's trying to be Superman and take care of everybody. No, man. This shit's going to happen to everybody. And then eventually, we got the robots. Eventually, all this shit's just gonna start taking, bro, like this. All of our jobs, all of our things, the doctors, the surgeries, the fucking deliveries, the therapies, the construction, everything. That's why, bro, that's why they're trying to come up. Elon Musk was trying to come up with something that eventually, if they got to reach to a certain amount of money that the government was wasting and losing, just spending useless money on for things that weren't even real, that they can eventually give a package to the people, right? Citizens of America. Guys, relying on the government isn't the answer. Even them paying us or giving us anything, because at the end of the day, once AI starts taking care of all of our jobs, what are we going to do? Live in government homes. Look at 2030, guys. Look at 2030. Look at 2030 agenda. Own nothing and be happy.
We meet for the 20th. I hope I will have the pleasure still to be invited for the meeting. When we meet for the 20th Governance Summit, you will use the app like Uber, but not anymore to call some driver, but automatically guided car, a self-driven car will come to your hotel or wherever you are and will bring you to the airport. No, Los Angeles is one of the cities with the heaviest traffic, who told me in 2030 Los Angeles will be private car driven free. And this will allow to transform highways.
Look at this, guys. This is a real thing.
Average house prices in Dublin, €509,000. You need a salary of $150,000 a year in order to get a mortgage on a property like that. And your affordable housing schemes are linked to a discount on that absolutely obscene price. In my area, average house price is €700,000. So a whole future generation of young people, working people, will never be able to own their own home and will be prey to the obscene rents that are being charged of €2,000 and €2,200. Never able to save, never able to aspire to own their own home, and you have failed them completely. And
yeah, but that's happening everywhere. That's happening everywhere. And they want one world government. Dude, what? This part, bro, pisses me off. Because they're already selling 3D printed meats to KFC and all these major fast food chains. You don't believe me? Look it up. Shit's not far away at all, guys. We're already halfway through 2025. Then it's going to be 2026. Then 4 more years. Now look at this, bro. I don't know who the Antichrist is, but bro, Elon Musk is obviously not looking good for any of this shit, bro. As you saw, this guy is the most powerful, most rich guy. This guy is in charge of so many fucking things. And we still haven't really seen the release of all these robots, but they are going to get released. And guess what, bro? If they all have access to ChatGPT, imagine how they're going to be able to communicate with us. Imagine how much information they're going to be able to hold, how much data. It's not going to be weird interacting with one. People are going to be like, They're going to be excited to interact with one, being able to talk to one, police officers, all these things becoming robots. Do I think it's going to happen next year? No, but it's going to happen little by little. To the point where people are going to be like, oh, damn, that's weird. Okay, oh, man, look, it helped me. And then they're going to, you know how the news is. They're going to start releasing a bunch of positive things about robots. Oh, man, thankfully. Wow, we're so lucky we have these robots. Now, look at this, guys. Look at this.
When I was a girl, I was procured and sent to work for a family. There was a boy, the boy's mother, and the boy's grandfather. They were coming from Africa. They were white as me. I thought they'd be black. And because of something the boy did, I never told what he did. The boy did something very dark. And he was very little. And then one day I asked someone in the circle, Imelda, Joaquin's mother. I asked Imelda, I said, is he the Antichrist? I was 13 years old. She didn't even blink. She said, no, but he will present the mark. And when you see him do that, the Antichrist will take this.
Look at that. Look at that, man.
When I was a girl.
This could be a crazy white old lady, right? This could be an old lady that fucking, you know, is crazy. Nobody really cares about, and maybe she's a liar, right? Look at this.
Today has been wild, you all. Look what I actually just came across. Funny enough, if you have not seen my previous video, I'm going to link it in the description box and at the end of the video. This is wild. This is really, really wild. Take a look at this, guys.
Present the mark. Boy did something very dark. Boy did. And because of something the boy did, I never told what he did. Boy did something very dark. And he was very little. And then one day I asked someone in the circle, Imelda, Joaquin's mother. I asked Imelda, I said, is he the Antichrist? I was 13 years old. She didn't even blink. She said, no, but he will present the mark. And when you see him do that, the Antichrist will take the stage. So, now he...
And I wonder who that is, bro. I wonder who that is. But hey, whatever it may be. And the Antichrist, bro, yeah, it could be a real person. But bro, I'm telling you, AI is going to be a big part of this shit, bro. It's going to be a big part of this.
Here we are, 40 years later. Boom, that boy.
Look at all that symbolic shit that he wears, bro.
He's the star of the world. The boy's name then was Elon. It's changed over time. For 40 years later. And I see that boy everywhere, and the world adores him, but he's the king of Babylon.
Replay that again.
They were coming from Africa. Some very years later.
I'm telling you, bro, this shit's not looking good, bro. This shit's not looking good. And at the end of the day, bro, whatever Elon Musk is going through,
look close.
I don't know if it was Elon Musk that probably contacted Ukraine, because people are saying that maybe it could have been a private business, but people are like, nah, I don't think it was a private business. People are like, maybe it was BlackRock, maybe it was this, maybe it was that, you know, that are like, yo, fuck it, let's do this. We don't need a country. We got enough money. We have enough fucking warehouses and bunkers. Think about it, bro. A billionaire that's worth fucking hundreds and billions of dollars? Just think about how much shit you can do with 50 billion. With AI, with drones, with missiles. Think about how much shit you can get done with 100 billion, 50 billion, just 50 billion, or 25 billion. You saw that they ended up bombing over 40 of those nuclear bomber planes. All that shit was just totaling up to 7 billion. Let's give it another 7 billion just on drones. And then he's also got robots that are trained to kick fucking ass. They're able to do jujitsu, fucking jump, backflips, run fast, jump high. Bro, just think about everything that they're able to do, bro. If they really want to go to war. Look, I'm not saying that he's the one that did it, but it could be a possibility. It could be a possibility where he's literally the one that's whispering in other people's ears to try to create some type of shit like this. To just keep stirring up. And what I find so weird is that it's all happening back to back. It's all happening back to back. Literally from Ukraine to Russia bombing each other the last 2 days with Trump and Elon beefing and saying all this weird shit. Obviously, fucking Elon is mentioning the thing about the Epstein list. Yo, whoever's on that list needs to go to fucking jail forever. But we're never gonna fucking know, because whether if it was both parties, the Democratic, the Republic, there's a reason why it hasn't been released yet. And now look at all this drama, and then Elon Musk wants to say that Trump did it, but then, bro, he's a hypocrite, because he was chilling with his son X. He was fucking letting them do a bunch of things. He was hyping the whole world to vote for him. So if he knew this whole time, he's a hypocrite, right? Let's see what this guy has to say.
Today has been.
Elon Musk decides to step away from the government. And after stepping away from the government, Donald Trump proposes his big, beautiful bill. This big, beautiful bill basically is going to increase spending and bring us into more debt, which is completely against what Elon Musk worked for over the past months. Elon Musk risked his reputation, spent hundreds of millions of dollars. He lost probably billions in his company's stock. As much as I dislike Elon Musk, there is no argument that he sacrificed a lot to help Donald Trump. His reputation got burned to the ground. His personal life went into a fucking spiral downfall. He's got more public attention than he's ever wanted and lost wealth in the process. So clearly, he's angry that Trump has basically undone everything he's worked at for the past several months. Let's go through all the way through this, okay? Let's go all the way so you guys really understand where this beef started from. Okay, let's go ahead and go through this. 2024. As you guys know, Donald Trump was campaigning to become president of the United States, right? It was a do or die situation. If he didn't become president, he would effectively be in prison right now as we speak. He was indicted in 4 different jurisdictions, and it was literally a matter of life and death, right? So during the Trump campaign, he went ahead and stopped and delivered a speech in Butler, Pennsylvania. During the course of this speech, he was talking about immigration, interestingly enough, and he was looking at a chart, right, to his side. And as he was looking at this chart on the side, talking about his immigration policy and how he's better at immigration than the Democrats and all this other stuff, several bullets whizzed right by his head. Him turning and viewing this projector or this image to discuss immigration is what saved his life. Bullet trajectory experts were able to craft how close the bullets came to his head. And had he not had his head tilted that way to look at the chart, he would be dead. So we're talking about a miracle. This occurred sometime in mid-July. After Trump survived the assassination attempt, he stood up and threw his fist in the air and said, "Fight, fight, fight." Probably one of the most iconic moments in American history. It will go down in history with all the other iconic historic events, right? Whether it be Martin Luther King marching in Washington, D.C., John F. Kennedy saying, ask not what your country could do for you, rather ask what you could do for your country. Just an iconic moment, right? This will live on for centuries. And they got the iconic time photo. After Trump survived that assassination attempt, there was an enormous amount of people that circled around him to support him. One of those people was a guy named Elon Musk, a South African businessman and richest man in the world. So when Elon started supporting Trump heavy, right? Because keep in mind, guys, he was not a Trump supporter before. He was a Ron DeSantis supporter. And then prior to that, he was pretty much like a Hillary/Democrat voter. After that, we saw a surge in Trump's popularity. Huge surge. And I'll never forget, because I was there at the Republican National Convention, okay, out in, I think it was in Milwaukee this year, right? I remember being there last summer, shortly after the shooting. And he delivered his first speech after the shooting at the RNC. A lot of people don't know that. And I was there to witness it. And when he walked out and the crowd erupted and he delivered that first speech after being shot, it was something like historic. I can't even explain it. You would have to be there to understand, right? He's there. He's talking on the microphone. There's a big white thing on his ear, right? People were also putting a white thing on their ear. I thought that was kind of corny, but the point is that that's how much effect it had on the people. Elon basically became public with his support of Trump at that point. He weaponized Twitter. He paid people to vote. He spent $200 million plus to make this happen to the Trump campaign, right? Now, let's be honest here. Elon Musk is a businessman first. He didn't donate all this money for the betterment of America, so to speak. He wants less regulation, right? More ability to be profitable, corporate tax cuts, etc. What Republicans typically vote for anyway, right? Because Republicans typically believe in the trickle-down economic theory, right? So during the course of the campaign, throughout the summer, after Elon Musk decides to join, they return back to Butler, Pennsylvania, and Elon Musk is there, right? In a sense of solidarity. So what ended up happening was they ran on that wave and they took the fucking election and they steamrolled Kamala. We fast forward to November. Kamala Harris is defeated. Donald Trump regains the presidency. And there's an announcement that there is going to be a Department of Government Efficiency. When DOGE is created and officially starts making things happen in 2025 after Trump is inaugurated, etc., I think on January 20th, Musk starts hitting the ground running. He has a team of individuals. They start going to government agencies and figuring out the books, figuring out, how much they're spending and trying to cut down the bureaucratic bloat of the US government, right? During the course of these cuts, he gets a lot of enemies. He cuts something like 100 to 200,000 government jobs. He's getting a bunch of hate. The Democratic Party that used to support him has now turned on him. People are angry. People are pissed off, right? Because nobody likes the guy that comes in and cuts budgets, right? Nobody likes that. So what Elon Musk started to do was he applied a private sector mentality to a government entity, right? The private sector is for profit. The government sector is for bureaucracy, to be honest, right? The government is not as efficient as the private sector, right? So during the course of his efforts as the head of DOGE, he steps away from all of his businesses. He steps away from Tesla. He steps away from SpaceX. He steps away from Twitter. And he's basically devoted all his time to assisting the president with cutting down government spending, to the detriment of his many businesses, to the detriment of his fair administration. While to Teslas, most of them, I'd be willing to bet half, if not half, at most of them, of his buyers, are progressives. Why? Because progressives are far more likely to buy energy efficient bills. Was to on top of him aligning with Trump and devoting a lot of time to Doge, Tesla stocks decrease, and more importantly, radical leftists start destroying Tesla dealerships. Multiple instances of individuals firebombing Tesla dealerships, destroying vehicles, vandalizing them, destroying them when they see them at parking lots. This makes the Tesla stock sink even more. It gets so bad that his investors say Elon needs that and here we are today. $. He has his reputation, spent hundreds of millions of dollars. He lost probably billions in his company's stock. His investors are angry because he's not taking his fiduciary responsibility. Elon Musk, there is no reputation, got burned to the ground. His personal life went into a fucking spiral downfall. He's got more public attention than he's ever wanted and lost wealth in the process. So clearly, he's angry that Trump has basically undone everything he's worked at for the past several months. So all of yesterday, he was complaining about the big, beautiful bill, saying that it's going to create problems. It's going to increase the debt. We're going to get to a point where we can't even pay the principal balance. We're paying the interest only. And obviously, this bill is getting a lot of attention. And Trump already has enough on his plate. He's got a war in Gaza that he's got to deal with, a current genocide. He has a conflict in Ukraine that just escalated with drone attacks by Ukraine into Russia. He's trying to prevent Putin from nuking Ukraine. He's trying to keep the Israelis from doing airstrikes in Iran. He's trying to battle the world with tariffs.
Yeah, that whole tariff shit is insane, guys.
The last thing he needs is someone that was basically a member of cabinet going on Twitter saying, yo, what the fuck is going on? So why do I tell you guys all this? I tell you guys all this because I want you guys to understand the full story of how the fuck we got here. And again, as much as I don't like Elon Musk, I understand what he sacrificed and why he's angry. But on the Trump side, I also understand why he's frustrated. He's trying to prevent 2 world wars from happening, quite literally, with nuclear powers. He's got a tariff war with China going on. And then on top of that, we have all the other stuff going on with the cultural and the political discourse going on every single day. So that's how we finally came to the bombshell that is today.
Yeah, this is just crazy, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy. We're gonna see what else. Let's see if there's anything else that came out. Let's see if there's anything else that came out. Anything else? Trump tells Peter. Yeah, all of this is crazy, guys. But like I said, we're gonna see all this shit fucking unfold right before our eyes. And right now, bro, I don't think anything's just gonna chill out. Literally, with the drama that's happening inside the United States, with everything that's happening with the war, this shit is just getting crazy and crazier. We just gotta pray. We gotta pray, put all our faith into Jesus. As long as you believe in him, you're good. And you're gonna watch all of this unfold in front of you like if it was a movie theater and you got popcorn right here and we're just eating that shit, watching everything. Well, this was my first stream, guys. We're gonna keep it going. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys tune in. If you guys watch this later, when it's posted, give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a comment, and let's keep going, fellas. See y'all later. Stay blessed.